All right, you guys wanted to do scouting. We're going to do some scouting today. This is the next video. Just kind of see you get some more subscribers, go into a little bit more in depth. But thanks for those views on the first video. Um, scouting to me is the most essential part of what you're trying to do. You got to be prepared, right? That's like the Boy Scouts motto: is be prepared. And if you're not prepared, then it doesn't matter. You're going with a great game plan, but if you're not ready for that reverse, or you can catch so many things if you just pay attention to detail. First thing I want to look at when we talk about scouting is this right here. This is the opponent. This is from 2014. So as you can see, this is Lakewood right here. And week one, they played at Gar. And that was against us. So week one, so we played Buena Park. Week two, okay, at Montebello, and we had to go get them against Santa Monica. Then we played them at Santa Monica, so that was a double scout. Then we played Santa Monica week three, but we could get two films at Alley Demo and against Buena Park. So this is how you at least get an idea of who you need to go with. And in the San Gabriel Valley, it's pretty easy because, well, it's not as easy as it is, but it's easier than it was in the PCC, because the PCC normally you played at the same time as the scouts, and they were always Saturday, at least Sundays. You can mix it up, or they're at different times. You go out and play, but this is a huge. You need to do this. You need to figure out. You need to figure out who's going to go and get the scout, who's going to do what. But this next thing right here, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You put down who they're going to play, when they play, and you figure out who's going to go get them. If you got to pay someone to go scout, if you got to send your little brother, if you got to send whoever to go film, it's very, very important that you get out there and film. And the next thing you need, if you don't have Hudl, okay, I'm going to show you that Hudl right now, but if you don't have Hudl, you need this. These are called scout charts, okay? So let's see if I could do, no, I don't want that. Let's see if I could do page layout. So at least we can see right here, this will be a blank page of all this stuff that when it prints out, except for where it's lined at, okay? But when you go to print this out, when you're scouting, if you draw up the play, you draw up the team you're scouting, the down, the distance, the line of scrimmage, it's the plus 40 or minus 40, who was the ball carrier, how many yards was it, plus or minus, play number one, play number two, so on and so forth. As you go through, as you finish scouting an opponent, you cut this line right here, and they become like little index cards, okay? They become half of a page. And then you can now sort them the old school way, okay? All the first down plays, all the big plays, all the plays of third and long. And before they had Hudl that automatically did all this stuff, this was the best way to learn about a team, in my opinion. This right here, you can really get the tendencies down because you drew it up. He actually drew with a pencil on here how the play was done. And you can actually draw how many times the play was actually ran instead of drawing each play once. If you get good with it, you say, oh, shoot, I remember they ran this off tackle play, or this counter play 5 times or 6 times or whatever, and then you could sort that out by how many times and find out what their favorite play was. So this is the old school way. This is the way I learned it. One of my first high school coaching jobs, I was a freshman football coach with St. Paul High School, and Marion Ansich, the winningest coach in Southern California before Bob Ladouceur took over. This is the way he wanted it done. He was a stickler for certain things. He wanted a lot of information, and this is one of the things, and this is how they did it back in the day. So you would print these out, and you would go to a film, and one of the guys was filming the camera, and if you were good enough, you can actually do this as you're watching it live. This will help cut down the film, and if you got to this point, the varsity guys, they loved you because you didn't have to worry about it now. It's all data entry, and to me, I'll be honest with you, unless you really know opponent, it's going to be tough. But so it starts to me with the scout schedule, and then whether you're at home, and let's say you're doing it on a DVD or something, some type of upload, maybe off of Google Drive or something like that, and you're watching it, and you're just watching it off of YouTube or something, and you're doing it play-by-play, and you don't have a data sorter like in Hudl, like I'm going to show you right now, this is the way to do it. This is the old school way of doing it. I love doing it this way, although it's very tedious. But if I really want to get down to the nitty-gritty about especially if I'm calling the defense, I'm going to do it this way. It's just kind of an old school habit. I might not do the charts this way. I might still rely on the reports from Huddle, but this is definitely one way to do it. Okay, so if you need this, let me know. Send me, or you can make it yourself on Excel. It's not that hard. Okay, go down to Huddle now. Okay, so Coach Bobby Sanchez, he wanted Rosemead film. He wanted to know what we did against Rosemead. So here is a breakdown of Rosemead. I did these 3 films, and then I ran a report. So the report now gives you down and distance, what are they most likely to do, a field zone report, information. And what you do is you click on the 3 films, okay, and then you say report up here, and you click on reports, and then you click on what you want, okay, and then you say create report. You can even create a custom report, okay, but this is what you do. So to me, I didn't get a chance to do this film because obviously they didn't win this game, or they barely won this game and they lost in the semifinals. But so I had another film down here if I moved it. But in this game specifically, I went to this film. As you can see, we're trying to get the chains, and then we name it to how we name things. Okay, so the formation, the down and distance, so all the information that you put into Huddle, just like you would put into that card, at the push of a button, Huddle automatically puts it for you. So you could even do more stuff, and you could add the clips here. But this is crucial. You want to see. Let's go. This is another very good play. Yeah. So as they break the Huddle, you want to make sure you get everybody that's in the picture. But right before the play starts, you want to zoom in from running back to linebacker. So that's a little bit too much. So right there, they got it. And what you're looking at here is you're looking for anything that you can see. Personnel, you're looking for. Don't worry about so much about down and distance at this point because, like I said, this will do it for you. But you're looking mainly where does 25 line up, let's say. Where does 18 line up? And as you keep going, you figure out, all right, well, this is one of their good plays or this is one of their bad plays. This is a penalty, so you got to kind of exclude that. And you got to also figure out when you're scouting, is this a must-play offense? Is this not a must-play offense? That's the other thing you got to figure out too. So as I'm going, I'm punching in this information, the result of the play, who got the ball if I can. So number 9, we know number 9 and number 25 and Cameron here. We know there's some big players. So we want to watch where they line up. Okay, and then you're also watching who's doing the most damage to the opponent. Sometimes a lot of people get caught up with the flash and like, oh man, that dude has the stat and he has this and he has that, but then he doesn't really do much. But then you might see that little guy that's actually doing more damage to the team. So that was a different play. So like something like this on this counter, I want to know how they blocked it. So after when they run the counter, I'm like, okay, is this did they pull anything? Did they down block? No, they just did the old school him block. I'm gonna block him. And then the coaches are all mad on the sideline because they didn't have a good block. So now this is the first time they're in this formation. We call this Arizona, or with the tight end. It's just a pro set on this side with the twin set on this side, and they're in the shotgun formation with the running back. At this point, I'm looking at alignment too. If they're in the hash, where's he lined up? Is there any towel? If he lines up shorter, if he lines up wider, if he lines up deeper. I'm looking at all that. Then I'm also looking to see, is this a true read on this type of play? And the way you would know if it's a true read, 21 would run with the ball. He wouldn't turn it into a block. He's blocking the whole way. So this is not a true read. This is a call. So that also helps with your scheme when you're looking at stuff like that, right? So this is a big play. It's 4th and 15, right? And it's an incomplete pass, but this is huge because you also want to see when they get down into these 3rd and long situations. Normally, everyone has a big tendency of what they do, what they like to run during that stuff. One of the things you got to do on Huddle as well, and that should have been a touchdown, is you got to put down the offense, the defense. It's called ODK. So you could sort it So if I just hit this button here, it sorts it automatically for me. There's all the defensive plays. Um, there's all the kicks, and then there's all the offensive plays. So we could just watch their offense right now and go through this. Okay. There's a timeout. They got the ball back, I believe, after a turnover. Um, as you can see, their split was a little bit different on that play. What we call zone left, that's what we call Zelda. So like I said, the way you know this is not a true read, this is backside end. If this was a true zone play with the RPO or backside read, they would not be blocking him. So, but they block him. So that's one of the things you got to figure out. Then you got to figure out, all right, the center's getting his butt kicked, or is he not that good? Is the Amani guy that good? And that's one way you could attack it. And if you keep on seeing him getting beat, then that's one way you could attack it. Also, you want to see how well do they get up to the next level. Do they get up to the backers really well? Um, although they get there, I would say 10's not doing a really good job of playing backer. He's just standing there. So those are the two things you got to kind of figure out with that as well. So again, like we said, we start off wide to get the whole formation, then we zoom in just a little tight. There's some motion. Like I said, then we're looking to see, how they block that. Even on penalty plays, we want to see, can you get anything out of this play? So right before they snap it, I'll run it in slow motion and see what were they going to do. Again, center's getting his butt kicked, so I can't really tell. Quick screen left, that's what we call it here. One thing you want to know, do they always run the screen to the short side? Do they run to the wide side? Do they run it always to where the back is? That's the one thing, like, you got to pick up on stuff like that. These guys are running out, so in my opinion, these guys are running, but they're not really looking. They're looking at the ball. They should be looking up to get somebody, and because of that, to me, I'm not worried about that because they're not actually going to make the block. They're more concerned about other things. So whenever the quarterback keeps it, again, I'm not too sure. This has to be a call because 21 doesn't know what to do. Um, you know, he's just like, who do I get on this play? I don't know. We never really practice it. I don't know, something like that. But 75 should have got off the ball and made the play. So that's another thing you got to look at. Is this a dangerous play? Um, should you respect it a little bit more? Do you want him running the ball? As this motion goes away, how are you going to handle it? On the front side, he's going to attack here. On this weak side, you should be telling everybody attack QB. So now we have a different quarterback in. So this is something you got to notice too. Is why is 1 in and why is 11 in? I was new back to the San Gabriel Valley. Then they said, oh, I'm going to put number 9 at quarterback. So to me, I figured whenever he needs a play, he's going to let number 9 run the ball. And to me, I figured this was their must-play offense, just by the size of who was out there, smaller guys than what they normally had. So, but as you can see, I'll show you something later on. He actually does double wing against us. He doesn't do this. So, that's he threw something different at us, but I'll talk about that later on. That's, to me, that I don't see the benefit, and it didn't work. But again, not a true read. He's not reading it down the line. His eyes are to the running back the whole time. This play would be much more dangerous if it was actually a read, but it takes too long for everybody to. And you got to commit to it, and you can't run a bunch of plays. That's not. But it looks good, right? It looks good to the parents. The parents and everyone else think, oh, we're running zone read. We're running the spread. We're really opening it up, but it's really not a zone read. A bubble screen here. Not blocked very well. On these bubble screens, you got to block NDM, most dangerous man. I don't know what this receiver's blocking, but how's that guy in Eric's face right away? I don't know. There's another quick screen to the left, kind of on that same formation we did before. So now we kind of have a little bit of a tail, except this time it is to the short side. They do get it off. Number one's at quarterback this time. I don't know the difference between 11 and 1. To me, this play, as you can see against us, didn't really work. There just wasn't enough to hold it, and it wasn't fluid enough. But um, Cameron's a good athlete. You get a kind of guy like that in space. He's super fast, so it's a really good play for them. But I'll show you against us why it doesn't work, like it does against everything else that they do. Almost every team that they play that I have on film, this play works big time for them. So again, they go 96 verticals. This is towards the end. They're just throwing it up right here towards the end. So a lot of things too, like this is a good game to watch because one, you kind of see they were in a situation where they were tied here, and you got to see what a coach is going to do when he's in a tough situation or in a close game. But it also throws off tendencies because that's a big thing. Tendencies are, you could be doing different things when you're up. When you're up 40-0, you got to throw those tendencies out too. And when you're tight into this game, now you got to put it per the situation. So if you're in a tight game, this is perfect to understand what he's going to do in the fourth quarter, and what he's going to kind of pull out of his hat and calls. So if we go to our game footage, I'll show you some stuff. I'm just going to close this real quick, make it a little bit bigger. Don't want to go over offense too much. Is it defense? Are we on defense? Yeah. I want to go over the defensive stuff a little bit more. This is too wide. So there's the zone. They're doing a little bit better job this time of not blocking the end. And our end is taught to stay home for the quarterback, especially if that was number 9. That's something we did this week. So whenever we saw motion, one thing we thought of was a quarterback based off of that play, right? So last week against Almani, they scored a touchdown. So we told ICE, number 1, to stay home for the quarterback. And we told our middle linebacker to stay home for the quarterback. We said, if they want to give it a number 9, let these guys outside worry about number 9. The safety's going to come down. They're the ones going to worry about number 9 on the fly. You guys out in the interior, you're worried about QB. You can't make that play anyway. So Benny does a good job. If they would have gave it to him, it was there. He's actually getting blocked, and the difference is we're just a little bit better in space, and we saw it just a little bit better. So like I said, here comes their double wing situation. We were not prepared for it. So they get us. Here's the difference, though, is if you're going to do one thing for one game and not really work on it the whole season, and if you did, they did. But to me, something like the double wing cannot be messed around with. Like either you're going to commit to it or not, just like the spread offense. Either you're going to commit to it or not. You can't be both. Rosemead runs a lot of plays, and do they run them really well? I don't know. I'd rather run 5 plays really well than 20 plays really shitty. So as you can see right here, this is a big down right here. I want to say this is like 4th down and something, and they're not on the same page. So that was a big play right there. I missed this. Okay, I want to go back to this play right here. So they ran the fly sweep, right? And then they give the fly sweep, and then they went to motion, and then they give the quarterback. This is how you know you're doing a good job of coaching. When we ran this play in scout, I remember Danny told me, Coach, they don't. What do they do with me? I said, they don't do anything with you. There's no threat to hold you. He's like, they're just hoping you're dumb and go straight up the field. And he goes, all right, Coach, I got you. I remember that specifically. I remember the first time that happened to me was like, and it usually happens at this age, Pee Wee and junior midget. This was like 2004, 2005, something like that. This kid named Eric Pedroza. We're scouting on Monty and we're going through what they were going to do. And we're running the plays. And like halfway through team, he tells me, hey, Coach, he's like, are they going to block me today? And I'm like, no, they're not going to block you this week. He's like, are you serious? I go, no, based off of what I watched and based off how they run things, they can't block you. They can't get up to the mic based off how we do things and based off how they run it. He's like, really? And I said, yeah, really. He's like, I'm going to go off then. And sure enough, he had a crazy good game, made a bunch of plays. And this is kind of indicative of that too. Watch Danny here. This tight end is supposed to go out to block for this screen right here. Danny's being the smart football player he is. He doesn't go for anything else. As soon as and that just goes back kind of to our scheme too. He's supposed to, no matter what, jam him. So he feels that guy's leaving. So he's leaving. So Danny's blowing up this play right now. And then he's following it down the line. If Cameron catches the ball, Danny's right there to make the play. That's about as textbook and as perfect as you can teach it. And that's also being a smart kid and knowing the situation. None of those guys, because Danny hit this guy the way he's supposed to, these guys couldn't get out. He's clogging it up. And that's what scouting can do. If you do a good job of scouting, of knowing and simulating their plays during the week, that's a huge thing to scout offense. Get a guy that's going to run your scout offense really well too. No one could get out here to this corner. The strong safety's there. We have three guys there. Even if they did complete it, Cameron would have had to done something remarkable and exceptional to do it. That's it for today. Like I said, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Any questions, please leave them down there. Like I said, I'm not afraid to share anything. I just want to see involvement. I want to see if you actually really even want it, if you're really even going to use it. I'll give you my scout cards. I'll give you how to do it. I'll show you. I'll actually do if you want to do it a simple one and just actually do a quarter or a series of a breakdown where there's no plays involved already and we're actually doing it from scratch. Let me know, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, thank you. Appreciate it.